Welcome to another MrCross.org training tutorial. We're going to cover formatting today, and let's go ahead and get started. So we have a blank page here, and we're going to actually start by typing in a title for our paper or our document, and I'm going to actually call it Laggers, and we're going to say something like Laggers are really awesome. Okay, not much of a paper. Now if I was really writing the paper, this would be a lot longer, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some other text in there so that it makes it look like it's a lot longer. And I want you to notice while I did that I've got some underlined words that are underlined in red. That normally indicates a spelling error, but in this case these are just words that Microsoft Office doesn't know. So this is actually a good pointer for you. Not every word is going to be in the dictionary for Microsoft Office, so do not rely on it 100% for checking your spelling, because there will come a time when a word is in there that is correctly spelled that it will not know. So if I misspelled this word, Microsoft Office is not going to know that I misspelled it. So always proofread your paper, even though there is some fantastic tools out there to help you get your job done. Alright, let's look at this. So I have this. I'm going to start by always being on the Home tab. You can see here we've got a bunch of different tabs, and these are called ribbons now. And in these ribbons you have all of the different functions that you want to do in your document. The Home tab is where we have our formatting. This takes place at the formatting toolbar in Office 2003. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the very basic commands like center. I think that everybody's probably familiar with it, especially in my class. You've probably had it since early grade school, knowing what the bold, italics, underline, center, subscript, superscript, the font types, the making them bigger, smaller, coloring them. I think everything should be fairly familiar there. We're going to look at indentation and some other things that may not be as familiar later, but I just want you to know about that. So right here you've got a style bar, and in here is a gob of different styles that we can actually set our heading. So if we want to call it heading, we can do that, or heading 2 or heading 3, and you can see it's changing the style of our text there. Now the other thing we can do is we can go over and change styles, and we can actually change the style set. Now this style set is going to change the font and characteristics of the entire paper. So if we go down, for instance, to the modern file set, you will see that our entire page looks different. In fact, it gave us this little fancy line here. It's really decorated our paper, and that's a combination of the style set and the style that I've changed it to. So I could use heading 1, for instance, which gives it a colored background. I can do heading 3, which will give it the line. These are ways to quickly format your paper to make it look professional without having to reformat the paper from the very beginning. Alright, let's look at another thing. Over here in change styles, I can also select colors. So right now I'm selected in Office, but if I wanted to, I can go down and I can highlight a color scheme that I think looks fancy. And I'm going to go with that because I'm always have been a fan of purple. It's kind of a periwinkle color. And you can see that in 2 seconds we've actually formatted our paper to have a nice little heading, title with some information. So let's say that I had a second little bit of information and I wanted to do it on the Tiguan. I could do that, and I could go back and I could say that that is a heading, so I could highlight it and say that that's a heading, and now I'd have a separate section for my paper. So if I want to divide my large paper up into lots of different sections, this is a great way of doing it. Now it's not always going to work, because there are certain cases where maybe your paper needs to be formatted in APA or MLA style. That's going to be a little bit of a different issue, but this will at least get you going. Alright, be sure to stay tuned on the next video tutorial as I talk about making this paper more complete, and we're going to go into some of the more advanced style features, and we'll just continue on through Microsoft Office.